A California court ruled last week that bees can be classified as fish under a state endangered species law. Yeah, you heard me right. In 2020, a Sacramento County Superior Court ruled that invertebrates like bees couldn't be listed under the California Endangered Species Act. In 2022, 3 conservation groups sought to challenge that decision, and they won. Here's how they did it. The Xerces Society for Invertebrate Conservation, the Center for Food Safety, and the Defenders of Wildlife led the charge and were represented by the Stanford Environmental Law Clinic. The groups found a sneaky legal definition that could help them build their case. Let me explain. The California Endangered Species Act is a part of the broader California Fish and Game Code, which defines a fish as a wild fish, mollusk, crustacean, invertebrate, amphibian, or part spawn or ovum of any of those animals. Remember when I said bees were invertebrates? You see where they're going with this? An earlier portion of the Fish and Game Code says that the definitions in this chapter govern the construction of this code and all regulations adopted under this code. Matthew J. Sanders from the Stanford Environmental Law Clinic told me on the phone last week that this means that fish as defined in the code were protected under the Endangered Species Act, since the act is a regulation adopted under the Fish and Game Code. This also means bees are only fish legally, not biologically. Duh. But bees are hugely important pollinators, and the Xerces Society says that 4 California native bumblebees are endangered. The FDA says that bees help pollinate about 90 crops that make it to our dinner plates, so losing them to extinction would be bad, really bad. Serena Jepson, the Xerces Society's Director of Endangered Species, said, "The court's decision allows California to protect some of its most endangered pollinators, a step which will contribute to the resilience of the state's native ecosystems and farms." To read more about what's going on our planet, check out gizmodo.com/earther.